What's up, boys? Tricks Ridiculous back with another video, and in this one I'm going to show you how to farm patterns, which will then turn into units that you can save up to use on the new shipments that will be dropping in-game cosmetics on November 30th. This is a method that is a little cheesy and is probably going to get patched, so do it while you can. Load yourself up with those units so that you can unload them on these shipments. This is far and away the fastest method in the game, okay? I've been doing this for a little while now. My method here is probably netting about 300,000 units per hour. All right, and it's extremely easy to do. Now, this is probably going to get patched, but it's really not something that you can reliably do every time you log into the game. It does require a lot of setup. Okay, and then once you do set it up, you do have to commit to it for quite a while. Otherwise, quite a while, I should say, in one sitting. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth your time. All right, and these shipments are going to be pretty expensive to make sure you get the premium drops. So you're going to want to carve out, if you're going to use this method, carve out a lot of time in one sitting to do this. Do it while you're watching Netflix, YouTube, whatever. But you're definitely going to want to really dig in and get these patterns, which will then turn into units. So I'll go over the exact method, how you do it. Before we do, be sure to like and subscribe if you do like these kind of videos and you want to see more. It really does help the channel, and I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So guys, it's really simple. This is part of the campaign, the reassemble campaign. Now, obviously, most of you watching this have probably already completed the campaign, but that's okay. All you have to do is go and restart your campaign, all right? So this is where I said earlier, it's going to take a little bit of setup, right? Because you're going to have to play through a good amount of the campaign. When I did it, it took me roughly a little over maybe 2 hours, maybe close to 3 hours to get to the point in the campaign where this works. But basically, you're going to go all the way through the story until you get Iron Man. Once you get Iron Man, you do the mission where he kind of picks up all of his gear. The very next mission after that will be the mission where he flies really fast through the Utah Badlands. You'll probably remember that mission. Once you are at that mission, this is where you got to pay attention. So you finish up that mission. After that mission happens, you loads you back into the Chimera, and it gives you the tutorial, essentially, for the fabrication machine, okay? And what it will do is effectively give you a pattern as part of the tutorial. However, there is a little bit of a cheese that if you go into your menu and then back out of your menu, the game thinks it's restarting the tutorial, so it'll give you another pattern, and these are all blue patterns, okay? So when you start opening these patterns, of course, if you don't have the outfits that it can drop, it will give you all of those outfits. There's not too many of them that you can actually get, but once you've gotten them all, every duplicate outfit will be 250 units, right? So that'll be 250 right into your stash there. This is a very fast way. If you go in and out of the menu very quickly, you'll be able to get tons and tons of blue patterns that you can just quickly open all of them and get an absolute ass load of units. Like I said, in my testing and doing this, I timed it to be right about 300,000 units per hour. All right. But you got to be careful, because once you get to this screen, you have to commit to doing it, because if you end up, opening all your patterns, or you get out of the screen, or you generally just progress in any way, you're going to be screwed, right? You have to stay on the screen. Otherwise, it's going to basically progress you forward in the campaign, and then you're going to have to restart the campaign if you want to do this again. So you got to carve out some time to actually do this, but I assure you it's going to be worth it. This is far and away the fastest farm in the game. All right. So you're going to see, I'll show you just a little demo of how it actually works in a second. But just to put it into perspective, right now, if you open a chest, you usually get between about 20 and 45 units. So, but with this method, you get 250 units every second. So every second, you're getting as many units as would be like a snowy tundra vault run. Okay, it's absolutely the fastest thing to do, like I said, if you set it up. So definitely get yourself set up for this and start farming these units. Get yourself up to a stupid high amount so that when that content update does drop, you'll be able to unload them, getting all the shipments and getting all the outfits. That's what I'm going to do. I think you guys should do it too. Anyway, let me show you, once you're actually in the helicarrier, how you actually get those units. All right, boys, so here we are. We have just finished the armor chase mission with Iron Man, and right after that, it drops you into the hangar of the Chimera, and then you just have to walk over to the fabrication machine. Now, the way this works, this is where you got to slow down, because you will, if you screw this up, you got to redo the whole campaign, all right? So you go into the fabrication machine, okay? And when you do, you'll be given a pattern, all right? Now, do not click anything, right? Do not click back. Do not get out of this screen. Click on your character menu, this one right here. It'll bring you here, and then just click back. When you do that, you'll get a second pattern, okay? And you can do that over and over and over again. Look, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. You can keep going, okay? And then once you've, done a few, you can actually just start deciphering them. And this screen can actually hold quite a few. But basically, it'll give you all of the blue costumes that you can get from this, which isn't too many. But the big thing about it is that when you get a duplicate pattern from this, it gives you 250 units. All right, so 250 units is not actually that much, but given that we're getting one literally every basically second here, it's going to add up. So again, this is not a glitch that I think is going to, get you banned or get, majorly urgently patched. It'll probably get patched because they're definitely trying to, make units more of a thing that you're going to want to actually play the game to grind for. But it's going to cost a lot of resources for these, these shipments, right? It's going to cost roughly, it's 500 a shipment, and then you're only guaranteed to get the RNG protection after 100. So that's 50,000 credits, right? So that's going to be a lot. So this is not something I think is overly busted to the point where, like, it's not like you can just grind this. It's like, oh, let me just grind this right now. You really have to set aside some time, because once you get out of this screen here that I'm on now, that's it. You have to redo the campaign. And it honestly takes multiple hours. It took me about maybe 2.5 or so hours of kind of casual grinding just to get through all of the campaign nonsense to get to this particular screen. And then you basically have the one shot to do as many as you can, and then you're done. So it's not that broken from that sense. And I think once the shipments come out, you're going to blow through however many you got from this anyway. But it's definitely the best way to do it. So I would recommend trying to, stock up on them now. I know I'm going to. Like I said, I don't think this is anything that's going to get you, banned or kicked or anything like that. Honestly, Crystal Dynamics has not made a statement or acknowledged this in any way. So, that's a couple of things. That's, one reason that, it's really not on the player to not do this. It's really on Crystal Dynamics to fix something like this. And two, like I mentioned, it's really not something that's overly repeatable, right? Like when you do this, if you spend a whole day doing this, yeah, you're going to get a lot of units. You might be able to, get 100,000 or so, even more units and be able to buy a couple of the shipments in full. But I got news for you. I mean, once you do that, it's going to take you an arm and a leg to get back to this screen and do it again. So it's not something that you can just come in and rapidly get units for whenever you'd like. So anyway, boys, that is it. If you liked the video, if you learned something, definitely leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how many units you have gotten yourself up to or plan to get yourself up to. But anyway, that's it for me. I will see you guys in the next one.